everybody. Hello, welcome to Find You Fridays with me, Lorraine Hughes. How is your week? How's your month? How's everything going? We're nearly, can you believe it, at the end of August. Oh my goodness. Crazy, huh? Where the heck has the year gone? Hello, Holly. Hello, Debbie. Hello, Melinda. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Chef's kiss to you all. Oh my goodness. How is that energy going for today? I know we've got the new moon energy tomorrow. So that is always very exciting. It always ramps things up, makes our animals do funny things and makes us do funny things. So, oh goodness. Oh, thank you, honey. Thank you. I totally have got to go back and listen to day 3 of your happiness series, Debbie, because I didn't get a chance to do that today. But yes, I have loved day 1 and day 2, so very much looking forward to day 3. Yes, but I'll have time to indulge in that tomorrow morning, so I'm looking forward to that. And for anybody who is not aware of Debbie's a beautiful group, Debbie, could you put that in the chat? Like, put a little link. Put a little link to your group in the chat, and so people, if they want to find more vitality and happiness in their world, go with my girl Debbie, because she's pretty amazing. So my tea tonight, my happy little tea, is I think it's called the Goddess. It's a Puka brand, and it is cranberry, vanilla, and rose for today. Love it. Love my teas. Love my teas. Now, I'm so looking forward to today because I have a brand new card deck to play with. It is this gorgeous set here called the Mystique of Magdalene. Oh, there we go. Oh, isn't she gorgeous? And interestingly, especially in the last 6-ish, 8-ish months, I have, so here's the cards here, and they're really lovely. Beautiful images, and they're just so nice to work with, and have been spot on so far with the questions and things that I've already been asking, just starting to work with them. So I'm looking forward to playing with them some more tonight, and certainly am looking forward to just providing you beautiful beings with some more yummy readings. So let's see, we've got, what shall we focus on today for our general group reading? Thank you, Debbie. Actually, no, not those cards. Those ones. Okay, cool. So I've been listening to a Dolores Canon book the last couple of days. It's the one Essenes. So Jesus and the Essenes. So it's her very first book that I could see was from the list. And I tell you what, that book, I haven't delved into Dolores Canon very much in the past, but a couple of my friends have said to me over the years, gone, you might want to have a little listen to her because she's pretty amazing what she's done. And I'm like, wasn't really singing to me. And then something popped up, I think maybe on my YouTube or something like that, and I just listened to that and I was like, okay. And I had a little listen, and over the last couple of days I've been sort of devouring this Jesus and the Essenes And wow, I don't know. Have any of you in the audience today listened to, or read rather, because she obviously put them into printed books before that came onto Audible, any of Dolores Cannon's work? Yes, we are doing readings, darling. I'm just chatting, just letting some people come through. And of course, if anybody, that's something I have not done, is pop that in this part. Okay, expand and make that quiet. Thank you for reminding me, because I had not written it in yet. I appreciate that. Thank you. Right. Oh, goodness, Lorraine. Press that one and pin that to the top. There we go. All right. Not read her books, have listened to heaps of her stuff. Have a few on Audible. I love them. No, I'm calling her on Facebook. Didn't know she was dead. Yeah. Yes, she is. She's been passed away for a few years now. And the stuff that I first listened to, or rather watched on YouTube, was she was doing trying to think. It was something around the three awakenings or something. Yeah. But there is so much goodness. But a lot of the things that I've been finding in listening to the Jesus and the Ascends book is there's so many correlations between symbology and themes and colors and systems in place in the Ascends time that actually matches up with the Rider-Waite tarot. And I'm like, oh my goodness, because I've been delving a lot more into the tarot lately, and just in my own time, just playing with them and getting really, really familiar with them. And it was there was so much in there that was just like boom, boom, boom. And I was just like, oh my goodness, and that, and that, and that, and oh wow, oh my God. And then I'm messaging my partner going, this matches up with the stuff in the tarot and this one and this one. And remember that judgment card that we were like a little bit confused about? Well, this is this. And it's just like, oh, so much better. I would say have a look at what speaks to you, because from like one of my very good friends who's got her entire set of everything, which is apparently very rare to have the entire set, some will speak louder than others. And even when I said to her that I was listening to Jesus and the Ascends, she's like, oh, that's an interesting one to start off with. So yes. 2014, 3 waves. Thank you, honey. Yes, her daughter does still do a lot of work for her. And it's awesome. She's freaking amazing. And what I love about what she does, and especially in the book that I'm listening to at the moment, is it's all research. It's not that she has intuited this information. She's gotten it from somebody else who she's put into trance and regressed them through to this particular life. And it's such an interesting story. And I love past life regression stuff. It makes a lot of sense to me. And the way that she describes it is so good. So good. Anyway, let's carry on. It's enough about Dolores. So yes, if you haven't been exposed to her yet, and just have a look. Julia does weekly lives with a cute guy. I love it. All right. So, my friends, let's have a look. See, in my happy little world, I don't actually have too much of a tab on the trauma in the world. So for me, it's an interesting moment. I do have my own cute guy. My own cute guy is very tired. He's just done a 10-hour day. It's a long, long day for him. Okay. Let's just do a general reading for the rest of the month, hey? So whatever is relevant to you, if it makes you feel zingy and makes you feel light, then that's for you. And if it's not for you, that's okay. So this is just a reading for the collective, and we'll see what it comes out as for the rest of this month. There's not much to go, so it's a good one to do. All right. Beautiful. Okay. Wow. Don't you love it when they just go, whee? So fun. Okay. So obviously with the new moon energy tomorrow, this will be incorporated into this reading. So for the rest of this month, obviously we're on the 26th of August now here in Australia. If you're in America, you might still be in the 25th, I think, maybe just slipping into the 26th. I'm not sure. I know England is just slipping into the 26th now, set early morning. So the first card we've got is it's time to heal away those behaviors, all right? So we've got some behaviors that we have perhaps that are coming up that are requiring to be let go of. So something that I'm working on letting go of is, and this is something Debbie knows about through her little challenge that she's got going on at the moment, 3-day challenge, is to let go of sarcasm. And I've realized that for me, it was a way, and this might be relevant to you too, whether it be sarcasm or something else that you're holding on to from when you were young. But sarcasm for me was a way to fit in with my family. I don't fit in with my family at all, especially my mom and my brothers. I'm just so different to them. And their language of love is sarcasm. And so for me to be able to fit in with them so that I wasn't quite so different, I picked up and I learned sarcasm. And I was around my partner's family on the weekend and I felt it come out of me and I was just like, what the fuck is this? Like, and some of the things I was saying, it just wasn't stuff that I would normally say or how I would normally say it. And I realized through this beautiful 3-day process that Debbie has in her group, if you scroll back up through the comments, you'll see she's put a Facebook group up there. I realized that the one thing that is important for me to get rid of now is sarcasm, because I realized that sarcasm for me is actually me either A, not being totally truthful with how I'm feeling, B, trying to just fit in, C, it's just old trigger points of, old family dynamics. And it was my partner, his 2 brothers, and a mum. So it was like, I just felt exactly like I was back in my old family unit. So it was like instantly here's me at 44 years old, transported back to my family at 14, and just trying my best to do the thing to fit in and speak their language. And his family does have it a little bit with his brothers, but not to the same extent mine does. And so I realized that what I was doing was actually hurting my partner, and that wasn't okay. And so thanks to Debbie's thing, I'm releasing my sarcasm, because I realize sarcasm can be quite hurtful, and it's not okay. So that's healing away your addictions. What addictions have you got that you're holding on to? Maybe little patterns of behavior that you're holding on to from when you were a little one, that maybe you put in there as protection to hold you, so you didn't have that space of going, oh my God, I'm so different from everybody else. Shit, not wanting to put your head too high. So you just built up these habits and behaviors so that you could, whether that be smoking, drinking, food, there's so many that we have that we use. Now is the time to let it go. All of the energy around us at the moment for the next week is supporting you with that. The next one we've got is the sacral chakra. Okay, it's time to cleanse your sacral chakra. So it says that you're highly sensitive to chemicals, additives, processed foods, and energies right now. Respect your sensitivities by avoiding harsh items, situations, and relationships, which matches perfectly with the new moon energy. New moons and full moons especially, sensitivities ramp up. So this card matches in perfectly to that. So again, when you're doing your morning or evening meditation, whenever you do your meditation work, come down through the crown, down through to your sacral, which is around your belly button area, and send some energy through that. Open her out and allow it to breathe. Releasing any energies that are stored in there that are no longer required. Any excess energies, you can either just release it out or down through your legs to the ground. Okay, either way is fine. The next card we've got is Earth Angel. All right, because you are a light worker who's come to this earth to teach about love. Okay, so again, for me, getting rid of my my sarcasm, my habit of sarcasm, because sarcasm and love don't match. They did in my family, but they don't in my life now. So again, what are you holding on to that's preventing you from being all of you, being the earth angel that you truly be, and preventing you from sharing and teaching about the love that you have innately within you? Okay, have a look at that. Get brutally honest with yourself. All right. The next thing, the last card we've got for the next week is Visualize Success. I love this card. So being that we've got this new moon energy, okay, so we've got this new moon energy. It is a very potent energy, okay? So again, we have this incredible power source that we can channel to release any of these fears. And when you are releasing things, oh goodness, hang on, let's see if it stays with me. I can see that my reception has just gone here a little bit. If I drop out, I'm sorry. So when we visualize what life would be like without that habit, so we're going back to the addictions one, okay? When we release what this is and we start to visualize what our life would be like without it, sometimes we can get a little bit scared of what that would be, especially if it's something that has been holding us safe. Our ego has decided it's holding us safe. And it's like, no, it's not. It's time to let it go. So visualize what your life would be like if you didn't have to worry about that. Okay. So let me just take that off. That might help. Oh, get away. So there we go. So Jenny said, fear. My addiction is overthinking or over-exercising. What if none of that was wrong and none of it was right? What if it just is? And what if you can just make another choice? Thank you, Debbie. So yes, there we go. Some guidance for the next week. Thank you very much. I think we all do become a bit of an overthinker, which is why meditation is so important. And in the book that I've been listening to, Jesus in the Scenes, she's talking with her client whose name is Katie, but in this lifetime, she is a he, and he is actually ends up being one of the teachers of Jesus. But she goes through his life from early through to his death and a little bit beyond. And one of the things that he said through this book was he was talking about meditation. And in their time, meditation was taught to children as young as 3. And what they would do is, so this is for all of you overthinkers out there, okay? So what they would do to start off with is they would just focus on their breathing. They close their eyes and then they focus on the breathing. And they sit there for a time and just focus on the breath and learn to clear the mind. And then after a while, what they would do is they would then open their eyes, and as they got better at just focusing on their breathing and clearing their mind, then they would get a focal point and they would pick an object and they would focus intensely on that object. And then they would imagine that they're going into the object. And then they would sit there for a time and just feel what it feels like to be within that object. And then they would come out of the object. And they would do that. And that would be their meditation process. There was other meditations that he does where he stimulates certain points, especially the third eye, which he was doing with the inside of his right thumb. So like that. So he would sit there and do that in his meditations. And so he would do that through, he calls them his energy centers. So if there's any particular energy center that is a little bit blocked or requiring a bit of opening, while in meditation state, he would sit and rub that particular energy point or chakra center. So there's some tips there for you, for all of you beautiful overthinkers. Put a timer on it. Make it just 5 minutes. Because I know that sometimes when you're someone who overthinks a lot, you've got a lot of to-do list. So there's another little tip. Who was that? I was watching Matthew McConaughey. And he was talking about journaling and to-do lists and people who overthink a lot. And he was saying one of the best things to do is if you're somebody who thinks a lot, especially before sleep, going, oh, I've got to do this tomorrow and this tomorrow and this tomorrow and this tomorrow, and blah, 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 and you find it really, really difficult to get to sleep, write it down. He said, write down as many things for your to-do list and make them even the little things, like have a cup of coffee, call up a friend, And he said, for my to-do list today, I had 27 things on it and I've already done 17. And it was just like, so what it does is it allows the brain to just go, oh, now I don't have to think about all that stuff now I can go to sleep. So all you lovely overthinkers, get journaling, write stuff down. Okay, write down all of your to-do lists, write down all of your stuff. The other thing that's really super satisfying is when you write down your to-do list, of course, you can every time you tick one of those things off or cross it off the list, it's like, yeah, look how much I've achieved today. That's awesome. So there we go. All right, Melinda. Yeah. Like kind his wife. Yeah. Exactly, Debbie. It was great. Absolutely love it. I'm very impressed I remembered who it was. But there we go. Okay, Melinda. Now the beautiful Melinda has actually paid for a session. Because she's really super clever. Oh yeah, I forgot to put that one across here. Melinda. So Melinda is the first one off the blocks. Let's have a look. See what Mary Magdalene has to say for you. How's your week gone at work, hun? Something else I learned that was very interesting in that book was the burning of sandalwood. The burning of sandalwood is to open up your energy centers. And it was funny because as soon as I learned that, I was just like, how funny. Quite often in my healing sessions, in my in-person healing sessions, I really like having sandalwood as one of the scents that I have in my diffuser thingy. Now I know why. Instinctively, I knew what I was doing. Funny that. We've got lots of really jumpy cards today. It's really awesome. All right. Okay. Melinda, first card up is this one here, which talks about emerging from the shadows and reveal what is hidden. Okay. So what I'm getting for you at the moment, honey, is that it is really time for you to show up. You're coming out of what many would call, the like in your shadow work, dark night of the soul stuff, all of those sorts of things. Like I'm getting that there's a lot of the tail end of that has been happening, and it's now saying it's time. It's time. It's time for you to stop doubting yourself. It's time for you to really back yourself in a way that maybe you haven't done so before. And when you do this, you'll allow others to see you in a way that will get you more work. Okay. Also, with all the sickness and stuff that's been going around as of late, you might find you have more work. So not that you'd wish anybody in your team to be ill, but I say but. If the energy that you're putting out there, the asks that you're putting out there into the universe are, how great it would be to have more shifts this week. I'm so grateful of the shift that I've had already, and what would it take to have even more and get really fucking excited about it. And then, as that previous reading said, visualize them messaging you, bringing you whatever to say, hey, Melinda, can you come in now, please? All right. To do that, though, you've got to be seen. Okay. The next card that we've got is the Tree of Life, which is peace. Okay. Your life, interestingly, is, because it's coming out of the shadow time, which can be very rocky, yeah? It's peaceful. When we are in that peaceful state, though, sometimes we get a little bit too, how do I say this? Complacent is not quite the right word. Just that get up and go is kind of not quite gotta get up and gone, but it's kind of just like we just get a little bit like, yeah. So this time is very peaceful for you, which is awesome. But also it's time, because the next card is time to remember balance between the get up and go and the peacefulness. Okay. The next card that we've got is the Sacred Vow, which is divine commitment. All right, so it's time for you also to be divinely committed to yourself, to those balancing of the masculine and the feminine energies, to do the get up and go as well as the nurturing, and just have that flow between them both. And if you remember the 5 elements of intimacy, this could be a really good time just to check to see where you're at with all those 5 elements of intimacy, okay, which is an access consciousness tool. And I'm pretty sure you've got that information floating around somewhere. So if you haven't, just message me and we'll talk about that one later. But yes, it is very much time for you to remember your gifts, your talents, your abilities, be committed to using them on that daily basis. Don't get down. Don't get down and out. Don't go into self-doubt. Be divinely committed to the energy of the life that you truly desire, and you'll be fine. All right. The next card that we've got is unconditional love. Okay. Which is to move beyond fear. So there's a bit of fear floating around in your world, which matches up with this shadow card. Okay. The self-doubt that you've got flowing through you right now is not helping you. It's not helping you to attract more shifts. And just be very aware of where you're picking it up from other people that you may be around or may be working with. Okay. So everything and all that is, will you now let it go? Will you now destroy and uncreate your relationship with everyone and everything through all the lifetimes, dimensions, realities, and non-realities, everything it was, is, and will be? Thank you. And expand out. Expand out your awareness. Way out beyond wherever you've been before. And now expand out your allowance beyond that. Thank you. And now from this gorgeous, delicious state that you're in, visualize what it will feel like to have your workplace message you to say, hey, Melinda, we've got some more shifts for you. Would you be keen? How would that make you feel? And to make that even more potent, write it down. Okay? Over the weekend, have some apricot in your life, which is rejoice and laugh. So do something fun for yourself. okay? And do something creative. Just get out there and have a really, really lovely, lovely weekend. Remember why you're in this embodiment that you're in, because this embodiment is super special and amazing, which is coming through in the next card, which is grey, which is to scan your body. All right. So in your next meditation, go through your body. If you can do this tonight before you go to sleep, it's a really, really lovely time to do it. Scan your body, look for any areas that are tense or tight, and release them off to either the universe, to the earth, wherever, whatever works for you. Okay? We have this incredible power over our bodies to shift and change anything at any time. We also can quite often have belief systems in place that prevents us from doing so. But I know how fast you are. I know how potent you are. I've spent time with you. And you have the absolute ability to shift and change your body with total ease. Okay? It's time for you to remember all of this. From the top of the head to the tips of the toes and tips of the fingers. Scan the whole lot. And any tense and tight bits, focus on them, send them unconditional love. Okay? And push that out. All right? And again, do something creative over this next week and the weekend especially. Get out there, do something fun. Just really enjoy who you be, your uniqueness. Whether that be doing a 1,000-piece puzzle in a couple of hours, or, doing some art or some sort of creativity, or doing some gardening and decorating up some pots, or whatever it is that you wish to do. Do something fun, okay? All right, and for your yummy, yummy God, thank you, Melinda. Oh my goodness. It's competing with my candle at the moment, but that's okay. My candle's really yummy too. That was a birthday candle from my dear friend Samantha. And I absolutely love it. We got respect. Okay. So it's time to respect the process. And also remember that everything is in its right time and right place. Okay? You are amazing. You are gorgeous. And it's time to remember all of that too. Okay? The energy that you put out is the energy that you'll be getting back. All right? I love you. Mwah. Thank you so much for popping through a little donation. I'm so super grateful for you for doing that. And I hope that helps for the next week. Beautiful. How does it get any better? Aw. Holly, when you sent me that message, I was just like, wowee. Nighty night, Jenny. I hope you have a lovely evening. Funnily enough, I was just thinking I might do some poetry readings now, seeing as nobody else has popped any payments through just yet. Does anybody get OCD with their cards? Like, it is kind of annoying to me right now that I don't know if you can see it, that my color cards are not all up the same way. I'm feeling a bit OCD about that, but I will fix that after the show is done. All right, poetry book time, because Holly mentioned it. It's time to do it. Sorry. You ready? That's right. First number that pops into your head between 1 and 88. Pop it in the chat now. We get to do a lovely little reading. Ba-dum. There we go. And we're off and running. Oh, Holly, you'll be able to read it with me. How cool is that? All right, Debbie, you're up first. All right. Okay, so we've got tears. In these days of my life, I want everything to remain, not get worse, no more wars, no more loss, no more heartache. I want peace and happiness and laughter. I want companionship and harmony. In my time, I see so much hurt and sadness that I want to take it all away, put it in a package, and never see it again. So then everyone would be happy and never have to see the tears of sadness again. I get that that is a big part of who you are and who you be. I couldn't have found a more appropriate poem for you. Your awareness is spot on, my dear. So everywhere that you're taking on everybody else's hurt, their sadness, and trying to package it up within your body, will you now let that all go, please? Let it go out to the universe, up to God, to Yahweh, as it says in the book, to the earth, wherever you wish to put it or send it. Please just release that all from your body now. It is important. Okay? You can be aware of it. You don't have to hold on to it. That's not our path. That is not how we do it these days. You know that. So all the pain and the suffering that you're aware of in the world, focus on what is the more important for you. Okay? Ollie. 26 is yours. Interesting, given what you told me. Solitude. I sit here alone, but not lonely. I am thinking of you and how long it will be until we are together again. We can survive, you and me. We are strong, and the bond grows every day. I miss you, and you miss me. But while we are together, we will never be lonely. Holly, is there someone on the other side that you're missing a lot right now? Somebody who's transitioned over? So what I'm hearing from them is that they actually really don't wish for you to be so isolated anymore. They wish for you to be, hang on, let me just grab that information. They wish for you to find a soft, comfortable place that you can be. Be you. Where it's not like you have to try and be anything else or anybody else to try to fit in or whatever. They're asking for you to find a place where you can just relax. And they're saying it's time now, please. Get out and do something. Be around others. It's time. They don't wish to see you alone anymore. Alone. And they know that you're not necessarily lonely because you're very comfortable with your own company. But it's time for you to be brave and get up and get moving again, okay? Wow. Thank you. Just sending all of that love to you, honey. They're just wrapping you up in it. So they're there. They're supporting you. They hear you. They hear what you're saying. You got this. Okay. Hi, Angelita. Would you like to pick a number between 1 and 88? We're doing numbers at the moment. Doing the poetry readings. Shall I put it up again? Because it's super fun. Oh dear. Let me hide that one for a second. Because we love the lovely funky music. Oh dear, so funny. Oh, Holly, that love is still rumbling through my heart. That feels so good. So much love for you. Feels good. Angelita, would you like to have a little poetry reading? First number between 1 and 88 that pops into your head. Pop it in the chat. Who else is floating around today? Do, 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 do. 58. Nice. Thank you, Angelita. You got endless. As the years go by, like a running stream towards the ocean, you look at your reflection and wonder, where did those endless days of youth go? You remember the days when you were dependent upon your parents. Didn't you get this one last week? The days when you thought you were invincible, only to realize that you needed them after all. You're grown now, but there is always a part of you which remains your link with the greatest influence in your life. The ones who cried with you, laughed with you, and were proud of you. Were sometimes frustrated with you and wanted to strangle you, but loved you all the same. Now you've got your own link to be the greatest influence in someone else's life. You're always wanting the best for your little darlings and hoping that they will be all right, knowing that the world is a different place a very different place to live in now, but wishing that your not so little ones will make wise and solid choices as they now get to an age when they wonder, where did those endless days go? So, what's happening with you and your family? I'm curious. Yeah, you did. Because I remember last week you were like, oh, how funny. I was just thinking about my parents and my kids. Okay. Kids have gone back to school. What's your concerns with them? See what the cards say, hey? Let's do a quick little 3-kit card reading for you. Okay, that makes sense. All right. So for your kids, we've got strength in the body, okay? So for the kids, I'm getting that they're going to be, if they're anything like you, with their levels of awareness, they're going to require to remember who they are, to be strong within themselves and to not be swayed too much by the influences of the other kids, peer pressure and things like that, to remember how to be a sovereign being, stand up for themselves, to, allow them, just remind them of that. I'm getting for you that there may be some worry about how much it's going to cost for the new school year. Because I think that's where you guys are at the moment. Your school year starts at a different time to ours. So, yeah, I would say the attracting the abundance. Yeah, that the way. Oh, okay. All right. Thank you. There's an awesome little book that I spoke about a couple of weeks ago called A Happy Pocket Full of Money. I would suggest having a listen to that. It's on Audible. It's a bloody good book. Talks about how money in a metaphysical sense, like using abundance and bringing it into being actualized into your life. So everywhere that you're stopping abundance from flowing into your life with old and outdated points of views, and old belief systems around money that you might still be holding onto from when you were a child, it's time to let all that go. Okay. The next one is Awaken Empathy. So I get that you're very aware of your kids, but in relation to them and them back to you, it's like there's an interesting amount of energy that is like, it's kind of like just going ping, 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 ping. And it's just sort of like bouncing all over the place. So with that awakening, I'm going to put it that way. It says on the card awaken, but let's turn it into awakening empathy. There's some elements of remembering to teach them how to channel that energy. So it may be time, interesting, the meditation thing has come up again. So it may be time for you, if you haven't taught them already, how to meditate. Time for you to, like, after school, and teach them how to take all of that energy which is flowing in their bodies after school, because I used to do nanny work, so I get it. They have just so much energy just going. It's time to teach them how to send that energy down through into the earth to dissipate that extra energy. So it's awesome that you meditate with your daughter. Okay. I think you got how many kids? 2 or 3. Do it with all of them. Okay. And even if it's only for 2 minutes, because the younger they are, often the harder it is to get them to sit still for that long. But start with a couple of minutes and then extend it out. Okay, so maybe 5 minutes after school, just going. Then you can, have a bit more easier time. She enjoys it, so much. She always hugs me after. Yeah, of course, it's special time, and. Just imagine if you did that for yourself, for any of us out there. We all did that afterwards, like that after doing meditation. You just sat there and just gave yourself a little hug afterwards. It's like, oh, so happy we did that. Yay. You know, how much better would that feel? Just treating yourself with that level of kindness and love. Beautiful. Thank you, Angelita. That was fun. All right. If anybody else would like to pop in a little donation, you can definitely get yourself an extended reading. Aww. Yeah, beautiful. Thank you, Angelita. Melinda. 34. Thank you, Melinda. I had forgotten. All right, 34. 34, 34, 34. Okay, Melinda. Got the loss. In these days of sorrow, when your loved one has left you, they are at peace with life, to have no more suffering and no more tears. Know that although you grieve, the memory of them will be with you forever, to smile and remember upon. Are you remembering someone who has passed away? Or has someone that you know have passed away recently? One way or the other, there's a little sense of grief flowing through that. That's why that poem was picked. Okay. So I'm going to read those last 3 lines again. That the memory of them will be with you forever, to remember and smile on. Okay? They don't wish you to be sad. At all. Remember the good times. Know the body grieves. It absolutely grieves. But it's time to just be in that beautiful heart space and remember the beauty that was with them. Okay? The fun times, the things that made you laugh. You know, it's an interesting one, because I was asking initially, is this about you grieving? You know, because in your reading it came out around, you know, this sort of shadow time, and we sometimes grieve the loss of our old selves, and that can be a big grief process as well. It's like when we go through moving from being single into a couple, we actually go through a period of grief, of grieving the singledom, grieving that aspect of just being able to get up and go and leave whenever we want to, of being able to just make decisions only for you without having to consider anybody else. It was one of the things that I found when I started embracing going to the movies by myself, was the freedom, because I'd always sort of gone, I don't know about going to the movies by myself. It seems a bit like, you know, old school Nigel no mates. You know, nobody wants to be the Nigel no mates at the cinema. And then I realized that it's actually yes, cool bananas. So what I realized in going to the movies by myself is that, what do you know? I didn't have to take anybody else into account. If I wanted to sit right up the back of the cinema, I could. If I desired to sit right down the front or in the middle or wherever. If I chose to not stop at the lolly counter, then cool. If I chose to have, you know, a thing of sweets for myself, then cool. I didn't have to worry about anybody else's considerations. I didn't have to worry about knees or hearing or eyesight or, weight considerations or anything else. So while initially there was that little bit of grief of, I'm doing something by myself, and it was a little bit scary, at the end of the day, I actually felt really good about it because I was able to make all these choices, and it was so much fun. So there's that. And I love that you said, maybe the unawakened me from years ago to what I know now. Yep. How many of you in the chat here have been through the awakening, I'll say that, and gotten to a point where you go, I could right now go back to my old life, could, stop doing all of this metaphysical stuff, stop doing all the woo-woo stuff, could just stop all of that, just go back to watching the news every night and doing my job and having my life and with my relationship and my kids and my friends and going out and drinking and partying and doing whatever. And you have that moment of going, I could, but I can't unknow what I know. I can't unknow it. And it actually, to me, I remember really distinctly, I was with this, I had been dating this guy for about 10 months, and I was driving away from his house having this moment. And I was just like, I can't unknow that. I can't go back. I can't go back to being ignorant. I can't go back to being oblivious. I can't go back to being in the dark. I just can't. My life is so much better knowing what I know, even though at times it's really super challenging. I can't go back. And so it wasn't too long after that I actually broke it off with him, because he wasn't in the same hemisphere as me. He was not going anywhere. He was quite happy to be in that world, up in his little shed working on motorbikes and doing manly things. And then he'd also slipped into judging me for the work that I was doing, and that wasn't good. So I ended that relationship. But that moment in my mind is just so imprinted there of like, at that point, I think I was maybe a year into my serious journey. And I was just like, yeah, no, I can't do it. I cannot do this. I can't undo it. Alrighty. Thanks for listening to that little rambling. It's good to share our stories, That's part of why I do Tuesdays, Tasty Tuesdays, the podcast, is that it's a moment for us to be able to share our stories in a way that is allowing the people who are just awakening to go, oh, fuck, at least I'm not alone. Thank goodness for that. I'm not alone. All right. Montana Lee Parsons. West Virginia, that's pretty cool. How does it get any better? Montana, if you would like to pick a number between 1 and 88, I can do a little baby reading for you from my poetry book, my intuitive poetry book. And if you would like a longer reading, you can always, pop a little donation through to the PayPal account, and I will do an extended reading for you. For the rest of us, while I'm waiting for Montana, I'm curious, how old were you when you sort of, for the rest of you beautiful people, how old were you when you realized that there was something more to the world than what you had perceived originally? You know, when did you get to that breaking point of like, I am like, I remember really distinctly for me, I was in my first marriage, which wasn't healthy, as many of you know, but it was a great learning time. There's a lot of positives which has come out of that time. But I remember really distinctly, it was towards the end of the relationship, and I was standing at the kitchen sink in Gisborne in New Zealand doing the dishes and going, there has to be more to life than this. There just has to be. I can't believe that this is all there is. Not for me. I just can't believe that. And I recognized that as the moment when my world started to change. It was like that was the cracking moment of when my higher self was giving me that real major push to start looking at the world from a different perspective. So at that time, I had some ghosty type stuff happen, some spiritual awareness. But apart from that, it was still very, very beginning stages and of remembering that part of my life that I had shut down many, many years before. When I was about 7, I shut it down. So this is like 20 years later, basically, that was coming, that I was breaking back open again. But yeah, that was interesting to have that moment. So let's see, Angelita, I'm noticing if I see myself in a different light, people around will too. It's very powerful and potent. Yes, absolutely. There's this beautiful, there's a lot of spirits around today. Lots of spirits. Ugh. When you see me itching my head like that, it means there's just lots of spirits floating around, entities wanting to say hi. So I'm wondering, Montana, are you floating around, honey? Montana, if you are, that would be lovely. If I pop her name up there, maybe she'll actually see it and go, oh, she's talking about me. Yes, and it was something I was reading in a book called by Gary Douglas, called Sex is Not a 4-Letter Word, but Relationship Oftentimes Is. And he was talking about like that sensualness of people, and how when you don't necessarily have to be the most gorgeous person, but if you've got your sensualness, like you've really embraced that, like you will just become so attractive to people. And it's like, it's just so delicious and so alluring. And for the single people out there, like you'll have no trouble attracting people to have relationships with or intercourse with or whatever, because people will just come hovering around you like, you know, bees to honey. And that really truly is about how you see yourself and the energy that you choose to portray out into the world. So at the end of the day, how are you treating yourself? How are you allowing yourself to be in this world? Because how you see yourself is the energy that goes out. And that's, you know, something I noticed the other day, and I did actually put a post up about it around judgment. And it was some social situations that I'd noticed that it was like this person was judging someone else for being, wanting to be the center of attention. And I just sort of thought to myself, you know, I remember feeling like that too. I remember there was a time many years ago where I used to get really like around people who were loud and, you know, obnoxious and all of that sort of stuff. And now it just doesn't bother me. Now it's just like me. But it's mainly because I realized for me at that time many years ago, it was because I wanted to be the center of attention. I was wishing to be the one that everybody could listen to and see and hear. And because in my family, my greatest void was the fact that I wasn't seen and I wasn't heard. And that came through from how I was raised with my dad initially. You know, children are seen and not heard. You just observed. That was how we learned. And then it was a case of didn't really fit in. Like my dad was out of the picture, but I didn't fit in with the rest of my family anyway. So I still wasn't heard. So often I'd be in the middle of trying to tell my story, and they would come in and they'd cut me off right in the middle of my story. And I'd be like, And so I felt like I never had the ability to tell a joke. I formed a point of view that I wasn't a good joke teller. Because it was like everything would just fall flat. And what I realized is it's not so much that I'm not a good joke teller, I just didn't have the right audience. Oh dear. Alrighty, let's do who else of you beautiful people who are floating around. For me, it was wanting to be appreciated from my childhood. Yeah, I can relate to that too. Definitely. My mum was absolutely brilliant at pushing the education side of things. She was so amazing with making sure that education was a very high priority, and for herself as well as for us kids. And the downside to that was that, you know, sometimes she wouldn't necessarily appreciate the effort that went into the mark, regardless of what the mark was. So yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. There was one of my exams, it was my favorite subject in, what would you guys call that, year 10. And I ended up getting an A for my final exam. Oh, okay, Heather, I can do one for you. And I was doing my final exam and I got an A, and my marks, like my mum saw my marks and she said, why didn't you get an A plus if that's your favorite subject? And I'm just like, come on, man. Just to give a little bit more context, in 2 subjects I didn't do so well in, accounting and history, I got D's. And I had shingles all up my back at this time. And if anybody's ever had shingles, you'll understand how very, very painfully itchy they are. And our exams were 3 hours long. So there's me trying to deal with shingles all up my back while doing my exams. And I still managed to get an A. I was very impressed with myself. But yeah. Impressed, no praise. Yes, but it was only for me. No praise for me. My brothers get loads of praise, but no praise for me. That's all good. Oh dear. But you know what? I am grateful now because I've realized in my life where I'm at now, the only person that can toot my horn is me. And if other people do happen to pop up and say, hey, I had this really great experience, or thank you for that, or whatever, I receive it. Like, I'm just like, yeah, that's awesome. That's so cool. Thank you so much for sharing that with me. I'm totally happy to receive that. And I do. I've stopped expecting it from anybody, though, because that expectation has gone out of my world when those comments and things come through. I'm just so happy. It's awesome. All right, Heather. Heather, my love, you have been in my thoughts today. I was going to message you earlier, actually, and then it went in and then out of my head. But yes, you were in my thoughts today. These cards are just so delicious. Okay, Heather. So you get my new Mary Magdalene cards. The first one we've got is simple gifts, which is appreciation. So what I'm actually getting is just remembering the simple things in your life and being really appreciative for them. So it's like even the smallest of things, like the fact that we might have a sunny day tomorrow. It's like, if it is a sunny day, go out there and like just go, thank you. Thank you for being a sunny day for me today. Thank the fact that we've got water running in our homes, and, just being really grateful, even tonight when you hop into bed, if you're not in bed already, being really grateful for having a comfortable bed to sleep in, and warm blankets and a nice pillow, and just being really grateful for those little things, really thankful for those little things. Okay, and show appreciation for them. So I don't know if you've ever, it's a bit of a sad, little bit of a thriller type movie. It's called The Room. And it's a story about a mother and son who end up getting locked in a shed out the back of this dude's house, kind of kidnapped styles. But one of the things that I loved about this movie was that every day the little boy would go around every single thing in the room and go, good morning window, good morning TV, good morning cup, good morning, and it was just, oh, Angelita, thank you, honey. Wow. How beautiful is that? You guys are amazing. What can I say? Oh, thank you, honey bunch. So yeah, being really grateful for those little things in your life. Okay, they are, if you're allowing yourself to just enjoy the small things, it will build. It will build. Okay. And I know today's a bit of a tender day for you. So just over the next couple of days, the next week, it's the little things. And I know you're going day to day at the moment, and that's totally appropriate. Okay. So be gentle. We've got the calling. You are being beckoned. This one here is about gifts that and aspects of your life that you've pushed away for a really long time, maybe even your whole life. And they are asking for you to, this is such a hard day to do this on, but they're asking you to start stepping out of the shadows. Okay, so just file this part of the message away for another day. Okay, they're asking me to tell you now, maybe because you are so raw right now that you might actually be able to hear it and be open to it. But please just pop that little bit of the message to the side. I know it might be a little bit rough for you to hear right now, but there is more. There is more for you, and there's more of your elements of you that are yet to be explored. Okay. We've got Magdalene Meditating Retreat. I hope that you've booked in next week off work, or at least the weekend after this for a long weekend. Okay. It's time for you to get quiet and calm and release that energy out. We've been speaking a lot about that today. Use the new moon energy. Okay. If you might, and I know this is a really weird one to say because I've done it a couple of times and it just always felt really weird to me on a full moon, getting out there and howling at the moon. It's quite, the first time I did it, I was like a little, oh, ooh, you know. I was feeling the energy of it, but I was too scared the neighbors were going to hear. I wondered what the fuck was going on. But certainly it's time for you to, there's a lot of energy which has been stored in your body, a lot of emotions, a lot of energy, and it's time to let that go. So keep doing that daily meditation practice, the connection with nature. Keep doing that. Your team is telling you, please keep doing that. And book in some time for you to really focus on nurturing you. Do something really super yummy for yourself, okay? And they're saying, please do that. Do, because it says right here, retreat. Okay, retreat to me means holiday. Okay. Do you know what? Because Angelita has done such a beautiful thing and done a pay it forward, I'm actually going to extend your reading. So I'm going to bring out some more cards because that one was already asking to come out. Thank you, Angelita. You're so gorgeous. We appreciate you, Angelita. Okay, the next card we've got is Mary with the alabaster jar, which is ask questions. And the asking questions part around this is looking at what is important to you right now and what is not. So it's ask yourself those really brutal questions and honest, maybe not so much brutal, but very honest questions of, is this actually important to me? Is it important to hang on to this, or is it time to just let it go? Okay, whether that be emotions, energy, people, all that sort of stuff. Maybe it's time to just let some of that stuff go, right? And when you're looking at what is important to you, you'll get a fine idea of what is, what makes you feel happier and lighter. Okay. Anything that makes you feel angry or tight, upset, ask some more questions around that, okay? What are you aware of? What have we got next? I've got love light, which is recognition. Recognize that you are beautiful. Recognize that you're amazing. Recognize the strength and the endurance that you have had over the last 2 years. Okay? Please recognize that you have done an incredible job in what you have achieved over the last couple of years, and especially in the last couple of weeks. What you have been through is astounding. And I'd like to recognize you for that as well and acknowledge you. You've had to manage so much. And I love that. I love that you've been able to cope with so many different energies and so many different emotions from so many different people and still manage to remain on track. You have done an incredible job. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, and the next one we've got is Solomon's Destiny, which is move on. It's a beautiful card to end on. So now that this time, what you have been dealing with over the last, especially the last couple of weeks, has come to a close, essentially. It's now time to allow yourself to move forward. I know there's still a few little niggly bits maybe that are floating around, but we'll go back to this one here. Time to move on and have a little bit of retreat time. Time to focus on you. Don't worry about anybody else for now. It's time to focus on you and move on, move past all of that old hurt, trauma, the pain, the anger. It's time to let it go. Okay? You are surrounded with love. You are. And they know what you did. They know how much you've loved them. They know how much you've supported them. They know. All right, last card for Heather. Yummy card. The first card I pulled out was humor. So I was like, interesting. Go watch a funny movie. Find something that just makes you laugh so much. Okay? Just stupidly unbridled laughter. Doesn't matter whether it is, I don't know, a kid's movie or just something ridiculous. An adult's movie, it doesn't matter. Find some humor. It's time to get some laughter out. Okay? Get some laughter rolling through your body. Okay? The other one is forgiveness. Okay? And this is not so much about forgiving anybody else. This is about forgiving yourself for any perceived failings that you think you have. You don't. Okay? You've done an incredible job. Forgive yourself. Okay. All right. Heather, I love you. Thank you very much for choosing to pop through. And again, thank you, Angelita, for that beautiful pay it forward. Thank you. It was perfectly timed. Chanel, my soul sister. Hello. Whack out Renos all day and still look stunning, showing up for night readings. Abso-fucking-lutely. I really look forward to my Friday shows. Absolutely. What are you doing up so late? 10:30, 11:30, 12. It's midnight in New Zealand. What are you doing, my love? Oh, dear. Chanel. She's not wrong, though. Chanel, pick a number between 1 and 88. First number that pops into your head, and I'll do a poem reading for you. Seeing as you're up and awake and I haven't read you a poem today. Fridays are an awesome day. I love them. And I'm so happy I got that back. For those of you who are friends with me on Facebook, I finally got that back. Toilet done. Done. It's only been a 9-month job. Makes it sound like it. I worked really slow, but no, it was just one of those ones like I'd do a little bit and then it'd be a big break while I was off doing other things, and then I'd come back and I'd do a little bit more, and then I'd go off, do some other things, come back. Oy. Okay. Ooh. Chanel. All right. So you got rendering desire, tense and wet, quivering with desire for someone I've never met, reaching out with thoughts and words, feeling the reactions in every part of our bodies, being our true selves because there is no judgment, no boredom or routine, keeping our ears and eyes open, feeling the release of pretense, welcoming every sensation, being inspired elsewhere, wanting more than our minds connecting, the yearning of the physical, the reality of the present, and the desire to do more. Ooh, boy. My lovely soul sister. How frustrating it must be to have a long-term overseas distance relationship. But at the same time, how exciting, how delicious, and how yummy. And I wonder what else is possible. How long will it take for the world to loosen up so that all of that can change? Yeah. I wonder. Ooh. I can't believe you're on right now. This is so cool. I love it. Oh, cool. You are a bit of a night owl at times. just asking some questions about timelines. Can't give you a specific timeline, but we've got the issue here, the white tiger, which says a wonderful new opportunity presents itself. It may come as a surprise, but you'll still want to leap into action and passionately pursue every possibility. So I'm getting that with the issue of where, you know, people are, you and your partner are living, that's kind of the issue. But it's like, just keep looking at the different possibilities out there for you, okay? For you both. Look at both sides. And we've got the Gypsy Vanna horse, which is the king of autumn. Compassionate, accomplished, charismatic, and grounded. And it says everything's going to turn out great. Projects will be stunningly successful. Exciting new career opportunities are possible, and money and resources that come your way will be invested wisely. But getting in relation to what we were asking about, that first line is what we required to know. Everything is going to turn out great. It's just, you know, timeline-wise, it may take a little bit longer, but it will come. It will come. Oh, I'm so excited for you. Wonder when. But of course, as you know, timelines can change all the time. That's why I don't really like doing future readings, because, you know, as they say, prophecies can change. Prophecies are only one version of what is possible. And so that's part of why I prefer to do readings and healings and things from what is stopping you right now, rather than what will happen in 6 months' time, kind of dealio. Oh, yay! PayPal's being nice to me today. Isn't that great? Very focused on our material stability, so it's going to take longer. Yeah. Oh, it's one of our many similarities, my love. That's why you and I are soul sisters. Soul sisters. Did you all catch my Tasty Tuesdays interview with the Lotus sisters, talking about sisters, from this week? It was amazing. I absolutely love chatting to them, Colleen and Johanna. They are just so beautiful, so beautiful. And my gorgeous partner, Matt, actually knows them personally. And when I was watching one of their videos before I had an interview with them, they would do that cool thing like twins, where one would start a sentence and the other one would finish it. And it was just like, whoa. But I knew that they weren't twins as such. And it turns out they were actually born within the same year, but at each end of the year. And I was just like, wow, that's amazing. So I actually get that they're almost like parts of the same being. It's just one of them got, pushed off to the side for a little bit. So cool. Definitely jump back and have a look at it. It is just an absolutely incredible episode. And they were talking about the Akashic records and how the Akashic records are an influence of our life. They are truly what, and I love some of the answers that they said to start these questions, around how the records are also a record of our life to come, and that we can get a lot of guidance from them. And yeah, it's just so super cool. It's a great conversation. Just reading Chanel's comment. Yeah, absolutely. Get onto that one. Have a read of that. We'll have a watch of that one. Another one that I absolutely loved was the one I did with Paula Darch, that was incredible as well. We went so off script for that one. That was amazing. I loved that one. And my other favorites, my top 3 favorites at the moment, is the interview that I did with Matt and Brooke, 2 guys and a girl, and we were chatting about masculine and feminine energies. So that's 2 guys and a girl is going to be a monthly segment. Once a month, they'll be coming on the second Tuesday of the month. The boys will join me for a chat, and I'm really looking forward to having that time with them. This next chat that we're going to have in a couple of weeks' time, 3 weeks, what is it, 1, 2, 3 weeks' time, something like that. So not next week, not the week after, but the week after that, second Tuesday of the month, we're actually going to be chatting about our points of views around soulmates and twin flames. So each of us comes from a very slightly different perspective, so without giving too much away, and we haven't gone into any great depth with each other around those subjects, but it's just like, yeah, let's get into that juicy subject. So I'm looking forward to having a chat with the 2 guys around that one too. Super fun. So my lovelies, thank you so much for joining us. I am so super excited that you guys have come to join me on Find You Fridays. Of course, we've got Tasty Tuesdays happening this Tuesday with Lan Greville, who is from Life Strategies. Oh my Lord. My brain has just suddenly gone. Oh, dearie me. That's terrible, isn't it? And she does kinesiology and stuff like that. And she's just such a sweetheart. And I would love it if you could come and join us for that one. She's a little bit like, not really done a lot of this podcasting stuff. I think this might be the very first podcast she's ever been on. So I'd love it if you could come over and support us. And I look like I'm by the campfire, don't I? Ooh, ooh. And yeah, she's absolutely gorgeous. She's here in Adelaide, and there we go. Amazing life strategies. I've got the amazing at the start. Thank you, everybody, for coming to play. I'll see you next Friday. I'm on Sunday with Brooke this week, 7 o'clock, 7 till 9 Adelaide time. I forgot to tell you. So, yeah, he's asked me to come back for Sunday. Feels like Sunday reading show. So if you want to have another dive into the readings with me and Brooke and enjoy our little banter and the fun energy over on Intuitive Focus, we are there on Sunday. I will be back. I'll be back at 7 o'clock on his channel, and then back on my channel on Tuesday for an Intuitive Focus with Leanne. And then on Friday, back here again. Yay! Alrighty, gorgeous ones. Thank you. I love my Friday nights too. They are definitely the highlight of my week in a lot of ways, and it is truly because of you guys. Seriously, I couldn't have the show without you, and it just lightens my heart so much to have these conscious conversations with you all, and even the silly little ones that we talk about, and just bringing some lightness to the end of the week. Alrighty, my beautiful, beautiful beings. I hope you have an incredible weekend. Get out there, do something absolutely yummy and delicious for yourselves over the weekend. Get out in nature, spend 5 minutes of the day sending the excess energy out into the universe or down into the earth, whichever works for you. Tap into those chakras. Focus on your breathing. All right, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.